Welcome back to the warm up with John Ben, everybody. Continuing our season outlook, we have the New York Knicks. But before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe on the video so you never miss an episode of the warm up. And please follow our new social media followings in the description below on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, the New York Knicks, a team that has a lot of expectations, a team that just fired Tom Thibodeau after getting to the conference finals last year. A team that made a lot of additions of depth. And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, everybody. We'll go ahead and take a look at the roster real quick. So this is a very top-heavy team, handing out a lot of salary to a lot of really good players in their starting lineup. Cat, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart. Obviously, Brunson, Bridges, and Hart all went to college together at Villanova, so they're going to continue that relationship. Mitchell Robinson. They got Yabusele from the 76ers. Deuce McBride is still there. Landry Shamet. They got him in the offseason. Jordan Clarkson was a buyout that I really liked. Very, very, very high on that pickup off the bench.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I look at this team from top to bottom, their roster's really good. I think bringing in Mike Brown is very slept on. Mike Brown is a great head coach. What happened in Sacramento, in my personal opinion, was not his fault. He was, in my opinion, the reason that team even made it to the postseason in the first place.
Yeah.
So a lot of credit is given to him as a coach. One thing about him, he is a no-nonsense guy. So, I'm really hoping that he is going to be able to improve the defense on this team because under Thibodeau, they were just sorely lacking in that department. So if they're able to defend a little bit better, I'm very, very, very high on this team in the Eastern Conference.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think this is a team that was very top heavy and they played like it. But I think adding people like Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson, maybe you get a second year jump in Tyler Kolek or Landry Sham, and then continue with Landry Sham out the bench. I really liked Malcolm Brogdon pickup for them. Unfortunately, he decided to retire a couple days ago. So
yeah, he did.
From there, though, I think this team's really deep. I think Mike Brown's gonna have a lot. Like if Jalen Brunson, the less he dribbles, it sounds weird. I think the better the offense will be. So come playoff time, it's not all right. Pick and roll with Cat. I'm gonna dribble the hell out the ball and I'm gonna shoot out to the corners if needed. Like I think they have a lot more motion in their offense, a lot more easier buckets come with that. I think they'll bring off Josh Hart off the bench, which is really interesting. Could be a 6-man of the year candidate right there. And starting big with Mitchell Robinson, if he could stay healthy, I think that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. So, I did say in the previous Denver video, I think I said it. My pick was coming out of the East this season for the championship. I think that OKC and New York are going to meet up in the NBA Finals, and I am taking the New York Knicks to win the NBA championship in 2026. This is a bold take. I'm going different this year. Usually I just go with one of the powerhouses. I'm going with a different approach this year. So let me tell you why. This is a Knicks team that, every year since Jalen Brunson has arrived and they've really started to reshape this basketball team has gotten better and better and better.
Yeah.
Brunson's first year, I believe they were a second round exit. And then last year they were, I think they were two. Okay. Yeah. Last year they were in Eastern Conference Finals, exit to the Indiana Pacers, and they gave them everything they could handle. So, and if not for Tyrese Halliburton's ridiculous game 1 shot, we may be looking at the NBA Finals a lot differently. Right.
Yeah.
So, this is a team that battled through. This is a team that beat Boston. And I know where some fans are going. I still think if Tatum does not get hurt, I still think New York wins that series. They were down
15 when Tatum got hurt.
They guarded way too hard in games 1 and 2 to give that up. So I saw so much from them in the playoffs last year to where I thought, if they make a few tweaks and add a few more guys off the bench, this is a championship team.
Yeah.
So, once again, locking it in, New York Knicks, 2026 NBA champions. This is a team that added depth. That's something they needed because their starters were playing all the minutes. They got a brand new head coach who prioritizes, gunning and going and, constantly just working in practice. I think he's going to make this team better defensively. Cat and Brunson year 2. Mikal Bridges has a full season. OG, Mitchell Robinson, Yabusele. There, you could go anywhere with this. But yeah, I'm excited to say I think this is going to be the team.
Wow. So you heard it, everybody. Ben is picking the Knicks to win the 2025-2026 NBA championship. That I have no disputes about that. I do think they're the favorite to come out the East. I would pick them over Cleveland right now. I believe in Brunson and Cat and their team overall come playoff time. I think what Cat did last year was something we haven't seen him do ever. And I think if he could replicate that, it's going to be huge. Mikal Bridges got off to a slow start last year. He wasn't the on-ball defender he was in years past, so hopefully he could get back to that, which I think will be huge. And then if Mitchell Robinson and Cat go to the bench, you could run a really small switchy lineup with Yabusele at the 5. I know he's not like your big, like tall 5-man, but he is massive. He's strong. He can play defense. And if you have him on the court with OG and Mikal and McBride, that's a hell of a defensive tandem as well. So, yeah, no disputes here.
Yeah, I think, another thing that needs to be noted about this Knicks team is the Villanova guys. I mean, these guys are the heart and soul of this roster. They have invested a lot of draft capital and a lot of money into these guys, and they have proven that they can contribute to game-winning moments. Mikal Bridges, most of all, who made 2 straight incredible stops in the Eastern Conference, the semifinals against the Celtics. And obviously, Josh Hart is just like, he puts his heart and soul in the basketball court. And then Jalen Brunson is just an incredible player. Obviously, know him well from his time in Dallas and loved everything he did for us. But what he's doing in New York is downright special. Obviously, people criticize him on the defensive end, but I think it's all about, with small guards, I think it's all about effort. We have seen Trae Young and Kyrie Irving and the small guards be able to put in effort and, be good defensively. So I'm not too worried about it. I will say one thing I am worried about with this Knicks team is, can they beat the Western Conference in the regular season? Because that is something they could not do last season. Obviously, they'll win most of their Eastern Conference matchups, win those Cleveland ones if you can. But, can you win against West opponents? Because what they would have to do against West opponents was roll out their starting 5 and have them play, 35 to 40 minutes a piece on all of them because they didn't have enough depth. I don't think that's going to be the case this season because of the guys they have. Jordan Clarkson specifically stands out. He was just a straight up bucket in Utah, spent a lot of time there. So I'm excited to see what he brings to this New York team. He stands out for sure.
Yeah. Just to add on with the Jordan Clarkson thing, he is a little bit older now, but I think that he'll have multiple nights where we'll look up at the box score and be like, oh, Jordan Clarkson had 25 points tonight off the bench. And it's like, oh, they blew him out. I think he has a microwave spark plug just like that. We've seen time and time again. He's done that in Utah. He did it at points with Cleveland. He was like that on the Lakers. Like, he's just a bucket. And a team that is very point guard centric, I think he'll thrive in this system as well.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this is a team that will finish probably second in the Western Conference. I think Cleveland will overall have more wins, but I think New York is going to take the throne of the Eastern Conference. I just think, I think they have a really big home court advantage. We've known this. Madison Square Garden is the Mecca of the basketball world. It's one of the toughest places to play. Their crowd is always amped. So that provides a massive home court advantage for them in the playoffs. So if they're a top 4 seed, I'm going to take them in the first round. I'm probably going to take them in the second round unless they play, a team that's on the rise. So, I'm going to stick with this team till the end, but they have a lot of potential to do something really special. Like we keep saying about these top East teams, this is a 1-year thing. Boston and Indiana are going to be back next year, and Giannis might be somewhere else. In fact, he might be on this team. We have no idea. So it's going to be interesting to see.
That was actually going to be my next question. Do you think you think it depends, like, if they get off to a slow start or not? Like, if Giannis does become available, you think the Knicks really entertain it, or Do you think they sold their opportunity by giving up their 6 first or 5 first for Mikal Bridges?
I don't think this is something you entertain in the middle of the season.
Okay.
That is too big of a move to make in the middle of the season. The Lakers obviously entertain the Luka Doncic talks, and although they got Luka, it was excuse me, it was a process. If you
Yeah.
bring in Giannis on this team, I'm assuming it's going to cost Cat plus one of OG or Josh Hart and
Yeah.
picks. So you're giving up a lot of your main roster in order to bring this guy in. It's an adjustment period. So if you want to go after Giannis, you offer him maximum money on a sign-in trade or something in the offseason and do it then. I don't think this is something you pursue at the trade deadline. If Giannis is like, get me out of Milwaukee, I don't think you blow up this team for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Because I see a lot of people on the internet say, oh, Giannis is gonna be a Knick, Giannis is gonna be a Knick. I'm like, I don't know if the team is as good as this team right now if they get Giannis. I think I would say that they're better without Giannis right now. Now we have to see how it all plays out. If they flame out in the first round or the second round even, and Giannis is still available, I could see them entertaining it as well. That was a crazy dunk.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that is true. I will say this. It does. You're right. It does depend on where they're sitting in the Western Conference. I mean, Eastern Conference, excuse me. Like if they're not living up to expectation, if they're bottom feeding kind of, and
Yeah.
if you kind of have a path of like, look, we're not going to be able to make it to the finals with this roster, then I'd be like, okay, you might as well try and get this deal done. But if you're sitting at the number 1 seed and you're there by a long shot, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't blow
100%.
up a good thing.
100%.
But yeah, that's what I would say to that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. You got anything else to add on your championship pick?
I think that's all I got. Let New York, let's go get a ring. Let's go
Let's
do
go.
it.
All right, everybody. That concludes our season outlook for the New York Knicks. Please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Let us know what your thoughts on where New York will end up this season. Please follow our new social media followings on Instagram and Twitter as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace and stay safe.